Today we are going to discuss a further skill in subtracting mixed numbers. Sometimes the fractions don't allow us to subtract themselves, so we have to do what's called regrouping. So I will share my screen with you and I will demonstrate what I mean. All right, so let's look at this problem up here. 8 and 2/9 minus 2 and 7/9. Now, what we learned in our last lesson is that all we really need to do is subtract the whole number portions. 8 minus 2 would be 6. But then we need to subtract the 2/9 minus 7/9. Think about that, 2/9 minus 7/9. We can't really subtract those yet. So just like in regular subtracting, sometimes we have to regroup or borrow things. So let's review a few things we learned. Remember that the number 1, we can write it as a fraction with any numerator and denominator. They have to be the same. So like we said, I believe in lesson 4.8, 2 over 2, or 3 over 3, or 5 over 5. Any number over any number we can write as a 1. So if we had the equation 1 minus 4/7, okay, the way we did that is we converted that to 7/7 minus 4/7. And then we got a nice fraction, 3/7. Then if we did the same thing with, say, 2 minus 4/7, and what we did is we converted this, the 2, into 1 and 7/7. Here's a 1 and here's a 1. That's how we get our 2. And then we could subtract our 4/7. And that's how we got 1 and 3/7. We're going to do something very similar in these types of problems. Okay, we're starting with one where our denominators are like, so we don't have to worry about getting a common denominator. So what we're going to do is we cannot subtract the 2/9 minus 7/9. So we have to borrow or regroup from this 8. So this 8, I'm just going to write this over here. We could write that as 7 and 9/9. Okay, so 7 and 9/9 is our 8. And then we're going to add that 2/9 in there. Okay, this 2/9 came from here. And that 8 we converted into something that's the same as 8. So when we add these two fractions together, we now get 7 and 11/9. Yes, that's an improper fraction, and that's okay. We need that right now. And then we're going to rewrite that 2 and 7/9. Now we can subtract the whole number portion. 7 minus 2 is 5. And then we have 11/9 minus 7/9. And that we get to be 4/9. So our answer is 5 and 4/9. So just to review, we could not do this subtraction. Even though 8 and 2/9 is bigger than 2 and 7/9, we can obviously subtract that. These fractions made it that we couldn't do it very easily. So we needed to rewrite this whole number as this kind of odd mixed number, which means the same thing. So 7 and 9/9 is the same as 8, and we added the 2/9 onto there, and we just got a little different looking mixed number. Let's do it one more problem. We have 10.5 minus 2 and 5/8. So the first thing we have to do is we notice that they do not have the same denominator. So we have to get a common denominator. And remember how we did that? We found our prime factorization of each of the denominators. So 2 is prime, so it just has a factor of 2. 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. Therefore, my least common multiple, we take 1 from each column, 2 times 2 times 2, and that is 8. So now I'm going to rewrite these mixed numbers using all denominators of 8. So I have 10 and something 8s. And since this is already in 8s, I'm going to keep it there. So now to get from 2 to 8, I have to multiply by 4. So 1 times 4 is 4/8. So now I have 10 and 4/8 minus 2 and 5/8. I would normally just subtract the whole numbers and then subtract the fractions, but I can't do 4/8 minus 5/8. We don't know how to do that yet. So what I have to do now is regroup. So let's look at this 10. 10 I can rewrite as 9 and 8/8. Remember, I'm going to keep the same denominator here. And then I'm going to add to that the 4/8 that's already here. So this 10 becomes 9 and 8/8. Those are the same. Now when I do this adding, I have 9 and 12/8. And then I can rewrite the 2 and 5/8. Now all I need to do, now everything is the way it should be in order for us to subtract. 9 minus 2 is 7. 12/8 minus 5/8 is 7/8. And that is our answer. It is in simplest form. And that is how you regroup for subtracting mixed numbers.